நமச்சிவாய வாழ்க, நாதன் தாழ் வாழ்க, இமை பொழுதும் என் நெஞ்சில் நீங்காதான் தாழ் வாழ்க. ஓங்கழியாண்ட குருமனிதன் தாழ் வாழ்க. சிவனவன் என் சிந்தையுள் நின்றதனால் அவன் அருளாலே அவன் தாழ் வணங்கி சிந்தை மகிழ சிவபுராணம் தன்னை முந்தை வினை முழுதும் ஓய உரைப்பன் யான். குரு விஷ்ணு குரு தேவோ மகேஸ்வரः குரு சாட்சாத் பரபிரம்ம தஸ்மை ஸ்ரீ குருவே நமः. யோ நித்யமच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरूपं व्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोः भगवतो सिद्धैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये. यस्य स्मरणमात्रेण द्वैतवासना प्रमुच्यते बोधात्मकाय नमस्तस्मै भगवते श्रीरमणमहर्षिये. हृदाकाशे सदा भान्तं शान्तमानन्दरूपिणं ज्ञानभाणमहं वन्दे सद्गुरुं श्री सत्यसायिनं ममन्तर्यामिनम्. हर नमः पार्वती पतये, हर हर महादेव. Starting today for 11 days leading up to Mahashivaratri, we will spend our time thinking about Parameshwara, and to do so we will take the help of one of Tamil Nadu's great saints called Māṇikkavācakar. Amongst the saints that worshipped, adored, loved and reached Shiva, in Tamil Nadu there is no dearth of them. We have what we call as the 63 Nayanmars. But there's one person who stands apart from these 63. He's not included in this number. But at the same time, he is one of the top 4 that are referred to as Samaya. There are 4 saints. 3 of them are part of the 63 canon. But this one is separate, the one who we are going to deal with today. Those 4 are Tirujnana Sambandar, whose Devaram we just sang, Annamalai Padigam we just sang, which is composed by Jnana Sambandar or Tirujnana Sambandar. He was a child prodigy. Then there is Appar, who is also called Navukkarasar, Tirunavukkarasar or Appar, who was a senior prodigy. Sambandar was a child prodigy, he was a senior prodigy. Then there is Sundaramurti Nayanar, Sundarar, who is a youthful prodigy. And then finally we have Māṇikkavācakar, Māṇikkavācakar, who is a bridal prodigy, because his love for Shiva comes under the category of bridal mysticism. Amongst the 4, each one had a very specific relationship with Shiva. Jnana Sambandar saw himself as Shiva's child. In fact, when he was a small child, his father took him to the temple, Sirgadi, and keeping him on the steps of the temple tank, he went inside to have a bit of a dip. Suddenly, seeing the father gone, the child starts to cry. Unable to bear the cry of this child, Sakshat Ambal herself comes and lifts this child up and feeds him, gives him her milk. And from that Saraswata, that great knowledge comes. So when the father comes out of his, he just gone in for a dip and he comes out, all this has happened in a split second. He sees milk in the mouth of this baby. So he says, where's this milk from? Who gave you milk? Why did you drink this milk? But then he sings a song. 3-year-old child, he sings a song. He says, Shiva and Parvati came, they are my parents, Amma gave me milk. So Gnanasambandar saw himself as the child of Shiva. Tirunavukar Appar saw himself as a servant of Shiva. He had Dasa Bhakti, Dasya Bhakti. Sundaramurti Nayanar saw himself as a friend of Shiva, Sakya Bhakti. To him, Shiva was a close friend who would even carry love letters for him if need be. He would run messages to his beloved, two wives he had. And for everything, Shiva had to go. If they had a trouble, Shiva had to go pacify, all that kind of thing Shiva had to do. Sundaramurti Nayanar. The fourth one is Māṇikkavācakar. Māṇikkavācakar looked upon Shiva as the Lord, as the husband, as the Pati. He saw himself as the bride of Shiva. And the Bhavamarda, Madhura Bhakti for him. Appa Vatsalya Bhakti, Apatya Bhakti, Gnanasambandar. Dasya Bhakti is Appar, Navukar sir. Sakya Bhakti is Sundaramurti Nayanar. And Māṇikkavācakar, the one we are going to be studying over the next few days, his work is what we are going to be studying. He saw himself as the Madhura Bhakta. And just as, Andal wrote Tirupavai, we all are familiar with Tirupavai, the one that she wrote where she wanted to attain the Lord. In the morning she did that Pavai Nombu. The same way, Māṇikkavācakar also wrote something very equivalent. It's called Thiruvambavai. It also ends with Embavai, Elor Embavai, like how Tirupavai ends. And according to legend, he wrote it in Tiruvannamalai. When you go around in Girivalam, when you come past the Adiyannamalai junction, there is a small little shrine, and on that, in a big board, there will be written Thiruvambavai Yetriya Sthalam. This is the place where Thiruvambavai was composed in Adiyannamalai. And Māṇikkavācakar wrote what is called as Thiruvasagam. In fact, Vachaka is statement. Vachakam is statement. His name is Māṇikkavācakar. Māṇikkam is a gem. Another name for him is Manivācakar. Manivācaka Perumaan Cholva. Mani means gem. Māṇikkam is a gem. For every statement of his was like a gem. Adanala, his name itself was Manivācakar, Māṇikkavācakar. We don't know what his original name is. For some reason, it is lost in the mists of antiquity. We do not know his actual name. And he is known only by this name that is given to him, Manivācakar. Before we go into his work, we have to little bit about his story, his life story. About him, we need to know. So he was a person who was born in the olden days. The kingdom was called Pandya Kingdom, Pandya Desha. And in that Pandya Kingdom, he was born in a place called Vadavur, Vatapuri. In Sanskritam, it's called Vatapuri, Vatavur. And so, one of his appellations is Tiruvādavurar. One who is from Vadavur. Adanala Vadavurar appadina peru. Tiruvādavurar. He was born in a Brahmin family. At a very young age, he showed extraordinary proficiency in learning, so he was admitted to school very early, Patishala. And he learnt everything there, and he was known for his erudition, for his extraordinary skill and knowledge. He was known for his bhakti to Shiva, and he was known for his Jiva Karunya. He had love for all beings. Villa childhood lende he was manifesting all these qualities. And she was a child genius in a way, and having heard about him, the king, the Pandya king, Arimardana Pandya, that king called him and appointed him as the prime minister in his court. And so he got appointed as a prime minister in the court of this Pandya king, and he started to work. This was his initial life. He was given a title, Tennavan Brahmarayan, title. Brahmaraya, Brahmanan artham, Tamil. Tennavan Brahmarayan, the southern Brahmin, there's so many Brahmins in south, but he was the top of all of them. The king has given a title, Tennavan Brahmarayan. And he performed all his duties as a minister with absolute tact, integrity, honesty. And because he was devoted to Shiva, he had no desire for any material happiness. That's one of the qualities of Shiva Bhaktas. Because where is Shiva and how is Shiva? Where does Shiva live? Either he lives in Kailasha is all cold and other. Or other best place for him is Smashana, the cremation bhumi. And what does he have? What possessions does he have? Vibhuti. Otherwise, he wears Rudraksha and snakes, Kapalamala, and he is wearing only a tiger skin around him. Simplicity personified. Vairagyam. Shiva means Vairagyam. So all Shiva Bhaktas are also filled with similar Vairagyam. There is no desire towards material happiness for them. Only spiritual matters he was absorbed, but he was doing his duties well. And one thing that was always in his mind was that to attain the Lord, a guru is necessary, is required. Without the guru, one cannot attain the Lord. And the desire for a guru was very key in him. Somehow I have to attain the Lord, but to attain the Lord, I need a guru. And the guru bhakti. Without even having seen a guru, there was guru bhakti. The yearning for a guru. I want a guru, I want a guru, I want a guru. That is all we can have. We cannot have anything more than that. All we can have is the yearning to be blessed with a guru. The blessing comes on its own. In the right ripeness of time, it will come. We cannot actually go in search of the guru. In fact, this story will reveal to you, it is the guru who comes in search of the devotee. So Bhagavan, the Lord, enacted a drama. The king, Pandya king, wanted to purchase horses. And he had heard about the Arabian horses. Apalam, there was trade happening between Arabia and India. The Arabian horses are very famous. But he wanted some Arab horses. And there was one, the ships used to come. Up away there was trade between all these countries, naval trade. So ships used to bring these horses. Adanale, this king sent Māṇikkavācakar with a lot of money and said, go buy best quality horses for us. I cannot trust anybody else to do this job. I trust you. Actually, he sent him. So Māṇikkavācakar, who was already, he was tied to the kingdom all the time. But really what he wanted was to serve the Lord. He wanted a guru. He thought this is the best way, in the vyajam or the pretext of buying horses for the king, I'll be able to get out of the kingdom. I'll be able to go and search for a guru in the meantime. He set out. Carrying with him the required amount of gold, a good deal of gold he had with him. Carrying all of that with a retinue, he set forth. His mind was seeking a guru. Adanala, what he did, he went not so much to where horses will be sold, but also where temples would be found, Shiva temples. So wherever there were Shiva temples, he would go to those towns, those villages. And the Kovile Aradharka Matala, somebody, some Mahatma might be around the temple, he was going in search. While doing so, he reached a village called Tirupperundurai. Kokari. Another name for it in those days was Kokari. Shivapuram. Another name for it was Shivapuram. Today it is called Avudayar Kovil. In Tamil Nadu, it is called Avudayar Kovil. In search of this guru, he was going from place to place. Outward pretext was getting horses. And a real journey, real motive was finding the guru. So what does it show? One may carry on all one's external duties. But what should the goal and focus be on even while carrying out all the external duties? The goal is, where is my guru? When can I get the guru? When can I find my guru so that I can attain the Lord? A desire. So as he was searching like this and going, he reached this place called Tirupperundurai. There was a school teacher. Who had come 1 year ago to that village. 1 year previously, the school teacher had come to this village and he said, I will settle down here and teach students. So, Ratu Vasal, the street liye, like a porch. That is where they would teach these students. School larka, there was not like a school. So you would sit there and you would teach the students just on the street, the porch of a house adjoining the street. Anna, who has come in this form? Māṇikkavācakar later on says it is Parameshwara himself who has come in this form. The school teacher. So when our Māṇikkavācakar reaches this particular village, he sees a Siddhapurusha sitting under a tree with a lot of sannyasis. Who is the Siddhapurusha? He is the actual school teacher. It is the school teacher who is now appearing to Māṇikkavācakar as a Siddhapurusha. He's sitting under a tree as a Siddha Purusha with a group of sannyasis. So, I want a Mahatma, I want a Guru, I want a Guru. There is a person sitting under the tree. He went straight. Kurundai Maramna. There was a tree called Kurundai tree. Under the tree, Kurundai tree, in the compound of a temple, this Siddha Purusha was sitting there. Mahatma was sitting there. Apo Vadavurar came there, and he went to the temple, had darshan of the Lord, and came out. Oh Lord, when will I find my Guru? He is coming out. Doing his protection when he is coming out, and there in the temple compound, under the tree, surrounded by sannyasis, he sees this Siddha. This Mahapurusha was looking like a Shiva Bhakta. When seeing him, he went and fell at his feet. He goes and falls at his feet. Something happens. The magic, if this magic happens, then we know that that relationship is established. How does this magic happen? We do not know. Now, what is this magic? The moment Vadavurar came there and he saw this Siddha Purusha, unknowingly, tears came to his eyes. His heart started to jump with joy. In more recognition. Is somebody here? Recognition. He has not seen this person before. The moment he sees him, something triggers within him, and immediately he goes there and falls flat at his feet like an uprooted tree. Ramana Bhagavan narrates the story with all these words. Like an uprooted tree, he fell at the feet of this Mahapurusha. And then getting up, he said, I'm a humble fellow, I'm a nobody, but I pray that I may also be accepted as a disciple, as a Sishya. Now, that Guru, why has he come there? The sole purpose of his coming there is for this person. He's been waiting for 1 whole year for this person, having taken a form. And then as soon as this person comes, he looks at him. He looks at him first. No kiye. He looks at him. And gave him Jnanopadesha. And Drishti Matrataliye, by mere look, he gives him a Jnanopadesha. And that Upadesha goes and takes a deep root in the heart of our Māṇikkavācakar. Gave him indescribable happiness. He felt, I have arrived. Nothing more, I have arrived. Then he went around his Guru. Went and removed all his official dress. He was wearing all the raiments, robes of a prime minister. He threw all of that out. Simple clothes he wore. Went and fell flat at the feet of the Guru again. All the ornaments that he was wearing, all the costly things, everything he kept in the front of the Guru. And he stood in front of the Guru with only a kaupi in a mano. How should you go to the Guru? No, like that you should go to the Guru. Once you found the Guru, then everything belongs to him, nothing belongs to you. Kaupi na matra enathukunna. Then why kaupi na? For the sake of others. For the sake of others, public are lot of people are sitting kovil, adanal he has to wear at least a loin cloth for the sake of others. When he is standing in front of the Guru, he is stripped of all the falsehood. All that falsehood is symbolic. It is symbolic of removing all that which gives me an identity. Prime Minister, dress circle. And then it identifies him as so and so. And the identity is not required. In front of the Guru, what is required now? The earnestness of a seeker is what is required. Nothing else is required. Then he stands there in front of the Guru like that. And because he wanted to sing in praise of this Guru, he sang some songs. Some devotional songs. The Guru heard those songs and he said, every single statement that comes from your mouth is like a gem. I will call you Māṇikkavācakar. Apadan the name comes. Māṇikkavācakar, and the Guru gives him the name. Stay here itself and worship the Lord. He gives him the command, and then the Guru vanishes. From there he disappears. The moment he disappears, that is when now Māṇikkavācakar is convinced the person who came is none other than Parameshwara himself. Shiva himself has come. Shiva himself came. Apadam, the great grief comes to him. Till you have gotten that thing, there is a sorrow, there is a longing. The longing is, I have not had it, when will I have it, when will I have it? Then you get it, you get immeasurable happiness. And then after you've gotten it, it vanishes. That is when there is a great sorrow. A great agony comes upon him. He is stricken with unbearable grief. He falls to the ground, starts to cry. Oh Lord, why have you left me here? Where have you gone away, leaving me here? He starts to cry. The villagers also find out that the school teacher who has been there for 1 whole year suddenly vanished. Everything is tied together. Oh. He understands, for my sake, you spent 1 year in the form of a school teacher just so that when I come, you may adopt me. And the moment you have taken me, you have vanished from there. Now he is immersed in that bhakti bhava for Parameshwara. He decides to stay there itself and uses all the money that was given to him by the king to renovate the temple, make it big, spend all of it in puja for Shiva. All the money is gone. So when the money is all being spent here, naturally the people who have come along with him, not everybody is devoted to Shiva. Everybody would become Māṇikkavācakar. Some of them went and told some Vachakam to the king. All your money has gone like this. So king became annoyed. He said immediately he sent an order to Māṇikkavācakar, return to Madurai, report immediately. Order. Now when the order came, Raja Agya, king's command, you have to obey it. But how to go and face the king? What is the first question king will ask? Where are the horses? Failing which, where is the money? Yeah, no horses, no money. Neither horses nor money. Mani Vachakara, ivar irukar, money illa. Mani maniya Vachakamana varume thavar money illa. So how to go back? He went straight to the temple and he said, Lord, what am I to do? Parameshwara, what am I to do? Then Shiva appeared in his dream that night. Shiva appeared in a dream, gave him a gem and said, you go to the king and give him this gem and tell him that this is the token of the horse purchase. Receipt. Like you buy something, you get a receipt. This is the receipt. So this is the token of buying all those horses. And tell him that on the Shravana Masam, Mula Nakshatram, horses will come. And in those days, January 22nd, February 8th, time was not granted. The month and the star was the ideal way to fix on the appropriate date. So he said, on Shravana Moolam, Pratasi Moolam, the horses will be there. Go tell the king. Shiva comes in a dream and gives instructions to Māṇikkavācakar. He is happy now. When he opens his eyes, obviously it's only a dream, but there is a gem. He is very happy. He immediately puts on all of his official uniform, goes to Madurai, gives the gem to the king, and he says, this is the token of all the horses that we have purchased. Horses will arrive on Moolam day. Now, although people have said all kinds of things, king has a lot of faith in his minister. So when the minister comes and gives him a token, so he says, all right, this must be true. I accept it. Fine, let us wait for it. You resume your official duties. So he became, took up his prime ministerial duties again and started doing them. But body was in Madurai, mind was in Tirupazhundurai, where he met his guru, that holy place where the mind is still loitering. And he was merely biding his time here, asking the Lord, when will you release me from this bondage? When will you release me from this bondage so that I can come and serve you? All this time, I was biding my time here only so that I can find you. Now that I have found you, why should I unnecessarily waste my time here? Adanala, please take me, relieve me from all of this and take me into your servitude, into your service. Adukulla, some people come and tell the king that, look, this person is lying. There is no proof that he bought any of these horses. He didn't go anywhere beyond Tirupazhundurai. And there is no horse market there. In fact, the temple has been renovated. All the money for the renovating the temple is what he has spent. Therefore, he has not really done anything. So the king became annoyed. When he heard all these authentic reports, he became very annoyed. So he called the minister and said, you have defrauded us, so we will put you in the prison. He was cast into prison and he was made to undergo all kinds of trials and tribulations of life. Jail life. If you take king's money and build temple out of it, then you have to go to jail. Bhadrachala Ramdas also did the same thing. He also went to jail. Māṇikkavācakar also did the same thing. He also went to The king's money, king should build the temple. You with your money, you do. King's money, not like that. Some prarabdha is there for all of us. And we have to exhaust that prarabdha. So sometimes when you seek relief, in order to give you that relief soon, what God will do is He will fast forward you through all of those prarabdhas. In the natural course of things, they may not even happen. Because He needs the release, He says, go into the prison. No, you long for the release more. He will release you. So he is in the prison and waiting for the Lord. On exactly that day, the Mula Nakshatram of Puratasi Masam, Shravana Masam, Ishvara assumed the form of a horseman. And what he did, he converted all the foxes in the forest into horses. Nari la riyarndha. Nariyai pariyakiyana lila nu solluvom idu. Pari in Tamil means horse. Nari in Tamil means fox. So what he did was he caught all the foxes and made them into horses and brought them to the king. And said, we are the horse merchant, and according to the purchase order from so and so, here are all the horses, please check all these horses. I love fantastic fine horses, beautiful pedigree horses. So the king was overjoyed. He got all of them tied in the royal stables, went and immediately personally went and released Māṇikkavācakar. We are very, very sorry, we doubted you, please come back and resume your duties. I said, what to do? Came back to the duties. The story doesn't finish over here. The very same night, as soon as night comes, our Cinderella story, Madhuri. What happens in Cinderella story? Pumpkin, carriage becomes pumpkin. The Anga mice became horses, horses became mice. The same way, here what happens? The same way, this way only, that there it happened. All the horses turn back into foxes. Not only do they turn back into foxes, after turning back into foxes, they go and bite all the other horses that were originally there and kill all of those horses and then run away into the forest. Howling at the top of their voices, they all run away to the forest. When you wake up in the morning, no horse, even the old horses were gone. All of them were killed by these foxes. They created havoc everywhere and they vanished. What? The Māṇikkavācakar who came out of prison went back again. Immediately he was thrown into the prison. When he was thrown into the prison, now Bhagavan decides to rescue him. There is a river that flows in Madurai called Vaigai. This Vaigai suddenly rose into floods, starting to flood, and started to threaten the safety of the entire city, Madurai. No matter what they tried, they are not able to control the floods, the water, the flooding. But the king assembled all the people and said, I want every single able-bodied person from every household to start building bunds, bring sacks of soil and start putting them, either contribute money or contribute labor towards this, because this is not possible. The royal treasury, in those days they had money in the treasury. And a fellow called Māṇikkavācakar came, took everything and built temple in Avdiyar. So a fellow has no money now, king. He was standing there saying, I want every household to contribute either materially or physically. So all the people came out. Those who can give money gave money. Those who can give labor gave labor. Those who could give both gave both. Everybody started to work hard to prevent the water from flooding into the city and endangering their lives. In Madurai there was an old lady. Pittuvani Ammayar abdin pera avalukku. The perla appellation. Who knows what her old lady's name? Pittuvani Ammayar means the pittu seller. Pittu selling lady. Well, she was a very pious devotee of Shiva, and every day she would make pittu and sell it for breakfast to people. That was her job. She used to make pittu and sell it for breakfast. But what is pittu? Not the Sri Lankan pittu. This is the sweetened pittu. Sweet pittu. It's made with jaggery. Navaratriklam பண்ணுவோம் இல்லையா அந்த புட்டு. So she used to sell that to everybody in Madurai. That was her livelihood. Whatever money she used to get from that, she used to use for her livelihood. She was a single old lady living by herself. But there is nobody, she has no money to give to the king, nor is there anybody, no able-bodied man to, in the family, in her house, to go and do the work for the king. Anna, the rule is that every house has to offer some kind of service or the other. What will she do? Then she went and told Parameshwara, where will I go? What will I do? Suddenly an able-bodied young man with a spade in his hand, Kuli Madri. Nehara, he comes to this house, knocks on the door. Then this party, this old lady opens the door. Bata, in a party, do you want any hired help? So she said, I want help, but I have no money to hire. And a hired help, I have to pay. I certainly want help, but I have no money to hire you. This man said, okay, what do you do? Generally, what do you do? I just sell pittu, I get a few coins with it. In that case, I will work for you if you give me pittu to eat. You give me pittu to eat, I will eat it. Avachanna in the parpa, if I give all the pittu to you, you looking at you, I don't know how much of pittu will be left to sell after you are done. Adanala, I don't think I will be able to satisfy, and maintain my livelihood. So then this man said, no, you just give me what is crumbled. When you make a pittu, sometimes it just you make it like a conical shape. Not everything will come in that shape. It will crumble because it is just rice and jaggery, rice powder and jaggery. Yeah. So whatever and the vadanju pohumolyo adu mathra enak kudu. Whatever is broken, you give me that. Okay, she said that is very easy. She started making. But Aniki in Bharata, when she started making, not one thing came in the right shape. Everything got broken. But according to the agreement, all the broken pieces should go to this person. And she kept on giving. This fellow kept on eating. Kept on giving, kept on eating. No matter how many times she is trying to make, nothing is working. Everything is getting broken and this fellow is swallowing everything. But surprisingly, the original amount of flour and jaggery that she had is not decreasing at all. So she is making, it is breaking, she is giving it to him, he is eating, but this is still remaining. Anyway, he ate as much as he could and he said, pour, enough, now I will go and do the work. Actually, he went to the river bank. And having gone to the river bank, he didn't do any work. What he did, Nana, he found a nice spot, took his towel, cleaned that place, spread the towel, laid himself down nicely, put one leg over the other and started to sing. Looking at all the others working, he was singing. Happily singing. He could have sung somewhere else, He came to the place where everybody else is working. He laid down, he started to sing. Again, wanting to draw attention to himself. The king himself was out on inspection to see how is the work going on. There's emergency work. Sometimes when big floods come, Prime Minister goes, PM goes. If he doesn't go, he is in Hawaii. They make a big fuss and they don't elect him again next year. Like that, the king also has those dangers. Adanala, our king went to inspect the progress on the river bank. But everybody is working hard. The one person hardly working. Everybody is working hard, one fellow hardly working. Idly singing songs. Like that. See, lying down, idly singing songs. Sing nicely. Songs are nice, but singing. The king said, who is this fellow? Why is he singing? The rest of the Quran, maybe he is taking rest in now. That is what he's been doing since he came. All the people said he has not done any work at all. He's been singing like this. The king became angry. He said, instead of doing your allotted work, you are lying down here and singing. Get up. And he came to the coolie, this man, and he had a cane in his hand with which he was walking around inspecting everything. With that cane, he gave a whack on the back of this man. Whack. And the moment that whack landed on the back of this man, everybody else started yelling, ah! Every person that was there felt a stinging lash on their back, including the king who said, ah! Even the king yelled. The moment that lash fell on the back of this man, Everybody had that pain. Immediately he understood that this person who is sitting here in the form of this laborer is none other than the Antaryami, the Hridaya Nivasi, who lives in the hearts of all beings. And the moment he was hit, all beings felt the pain. He stood aghast. Immediately that Parameshwara who had come in the form of that laborer vanished from that place. But then a voice was heard, our devotee Māṇikkavācakar is innocent. I myself did all this lila in order to show you his greatness. Nala, go and seek his forgiveness. Abrina, the astral voice of Shiva came there in Madurai. Everybody heard it. The king rushed to the prison cell and immediately opened and fell at the feet of Māṇikkavācakar and said, I have committed a grave crime. Please forgive me. You rule this kingdom. I do not deserve to rule this kingdom anymore because I could not even recognize such a virtuous Mahatma like you. Shiva himself had to come and enact a drama to reveal your greatness. Therefore, I do not deserve to be the king. You be the king. Now, Arjuna, Papa, no thank you. I don't want to be king. You be the king. Rule over the kingdom. I don't want to have all the problems of ruling over a kingdom. You look after them well. You don't have to worry about anything. Bhagavan will protect you. I want to go away as a sannyasi. Potentially, he leaves that place. Immediately, the floods subside. The whole thing was enacted only to bring the greatness of these two people. That old lady who was a devotee of Shiva, as well as Māṇikkavācakar. Putting on a dress of a sannyasi, he started to go around to different temples as ordained by Shiva. He went everywhere. He came to Tiruvānnamalai also, and it was in Tiruvānnamalai where he wrote his Thiruvambavai. The collection of all his songs is called Tiruvācakam. There is Tiruvācakam, Tirukovai, Thiruvambavai. Tiruvācakam is one big body of work, and there is a popular saying in Tamil, Thiruvasagattukku urugador, Uruvasagattukkum urugar. Those who do not melt on listening to Tiruvācakam will not be moved on listening to anything else. Now, there is so much of bhakti, so much of rasam, bhava present in this work called Tiruvācakam. It is a collection of all his songs. He did not write it. You know who wrote it? One day, as he was traveling everywhere, he came to Chidambaram. Now, Chidambaram is the capital of Shiva Bhakti in Tamil Nadu. Just as Srirangam is the capital of Vaishnava Bhakti, Vishnu Bhakti, like that, Chidambaram, Chitrambalam, Tiruchitrambalam is the capital of Shiva Bhakti. But he came there to Chidambaram and saw Nataraja, the Lord as Nataraja, the dancing Lord. Anandam, he stayed there itself. He stayed for a while in Chidambaram. This was almost towards the end of his life. But staying in Chidambaram, a Brahmin one day came to the house where Māṇikkavācakar was staying. On seeing this Brahmin who had come there, he had come in the night. Ratriya Vandarkar, he has come in the night. And when he came there, he received him and said, please come, sit down. All the respect due to a Brahmana was given. He came and sat down there and he said, it seems I've heard that you go around to various temples. You've been visiting so many different temples, singing beautiful songs in all of those temples. I've been thinking of coming and listening to you for a long time, but never found the opportunity. Now that you're here, I thought I will come and visit you. May I hear those songs? That is why I've come here in the night. I hope you don't mind. Can you sing those songs for me? Do you remember them all? Can you sing those songs? Sorry about coming in the night. So then Māṇikkavācakar said, no, don't worry about all of that. I can, to sing his songs about him. Do I need an excuse for it? Do I need an excuse for it? Now that you have come and asked me to sing, naturally I will sing. I remember them all, I will sing. I will sing the songs that I remember, I will sing. And as he is singing there, he is forgetting everything he is singing in Anandam. About that Brahmana who is sitting there starts to write all of those songs. As he is singing, he makes note of all of those. He writes down all the songs on palm leaves. Because Māṇikkavācakar is lost in his ecstasy. You should sing like that. When you sing about the Lord, you should sing in such a way that you have forgotten everything. He did not even observe this old man, this Brahmana, copying everything down on palm leaves. What he is singing. Like this, singing on and on and on, all of his songs, the whole night he is singing. Ultimately, he completely lost himself in the thought of God and entered into the stillness of Samadhi. All singing goes into silence ultimately. Went into that silence. All the work was done. This old Brahmana also vanished from that place. Your body is sitting in that Samadhi sitting. Next morning, when the Dikshidars or the temple priests of Chidambaram, they come and open the main shrine in the morning of Lord Nataraja to do the puja. Right in front of the Vigraham of Nataraja, there is a palm leaf book. A book of palm leaves. And when he opened it, adala right on top is written Thiruvācakam. The name was given Thiruvācakam. And in that it is written as dictated by Māṇikkavācakar. That's written. And below that there is a sign, Tiruchitrambalam. Signature, Tiruchitrambalam. The signature. And below that was a stamp of Nataraja. Nataraja could stamp. The stamp of Nataraja was also there. In the closed temple, when they came and they found all of these things there, a thing that I had never seen. Thiruvasagam, Māṇikkavācakar. Everybody knows Māṇikkavācakar. But this name is new. Thiruvasagam by Māṇikkavācakar, compiled by Tiruchitrambalam. So immediately they all rushed to the house of Māṇikkavācakar. And they said, "What is all this?" I do not know anything. What are you talking about? I don't know anything. Then they said, "You please come with us to the temple. Maybe there you will find all the answers." He comes there. He brings all of them to the temple. And when they ask him, "What is this all about? Who did all of this? What is this?" He says, "There is the answer." He says, "There is the answer to all your questions. In front, the Lord who is in front of us is the answer to your question. He is the answer." And having said that, the legend goes, Ramana Bhagavan narrates the story. Having said that, he simply merged into the Lord. Bhagavan has many times mentioned the fact that Māṇikkavācakar did not leave behind a body. He became blazing light and entered into Shiva in Chidambaram. Having said the story, this comes in letters from Ramanashram. Surya Nagamma has compiled it. She writes, as he narrated the story, Bhagavan's voice got choked. Unable to speak anymore, he remained in ecstatic silence. Now Bhagavan would get very moved when he was narrating the stories of Mahabhaktas. When he was talking about the story of Māṇikkavācakar, the way Shiva himself came and wrote down his songs, gave a name for it called Thiruvasagam, and left it in his own shrine, and even acknowledged who has sung it, Māṇikkavācakar. And the final words of Māṇikkavācakar were, "He is the answer to all your questions." And no matter what the question is, answer is very easy. There's only one answer. Questions may be many, but the answer is only one. What is the answer? Lord is the answer for all our problems. He is the answer for all our questions. There is only one way, and that is to take refuge in the Lord. So that is the whole story of Māṇikkavācakar in short, in summary. Ramana Bhagavan loved his verses. He used to quote them very often. Some specific verses, he used to quote them again and again, repeatedly. One particular verse was, "Nayirkade nayenai nayanduniye atkondai மாயப்பிறவி உன்வசமே வைத்திட்டிருக்குமல்லால் ஆயக்கடவேன் நானோதான் எனதோ இங்கு அதிகாரம் காயத்திரிடுவாய் உன் கழல்கள் வைப்பாய் கண்ணுதலே." அப்படின்னு ஒரு சாங் And Bhagavan used to say that encapsulates the entire Sharanagati Tattvam, Abdina Bhagavan would say. In another song of Māṇikkavācakar is also equally famous, where he says, Yanum poi, yen nenjum poi, yen anbum poi. He says, I am a lie. My heart is a lie. The so-called love that I have for you is a lie. And there is one line, Anal, Avidal unnai peralame. But if I cry, I can attain you. Because there was a person called Devaraja Mudaliyar who used to come to Ramana Bhagavan. And in the initial days, when Mudaliyar had come to Bhagavan, he would sing these Tevarams and all, he would sing in front of Bhagavan. And sometimes he would be so moved that he would not be able to sing, he will start to cry. And he would seek forgiveness from Bhagavan. Bhagavan, I'm sorry, I wanted to sing, but I am breaking down in the middle of my singing, sorry. Above, Bhagavan would quote this line and say, Avudal unnai peralame. By crying, you can attain the Lord. That is the story. And the very first bit of this Thiruvācakam is called Shivapuranam. Shivapuranam abdina doesn't mean it's the story of Shiva. Generally, Puranam abdina, we think it is a set of miraculous stories, lilas, etc. This is not like that. Anna, it is a Puranam of what Shiva is to Māṇikkavācakar. That's Shivapuranam. It represents what the Lord is to the devotee. And how the devotee addresses the Lord is what this is all about. It is so sweet. The way he talks to him, the way he calls out to him. Many times I have said that Namasmarana is calling out to the Lord. Using his names to call out to him. And the names are Krishna, Rama, Govinda, Shiva, Shambhu, Rudra. These are all descriptive appellations that come only from the heart of the devotee. Apdi oru namam idu. Great esoteric truths are contained within these verses of Śivapurāṇam. And it's almost a compulsory thing, for a lot of you people, it's a compulsory thing to learn Śivapurāṇam. Oh, the Sri Lankan Tamils, they all know Śivapurāṇam very well. For everything they sing Śivapurāṇam. If somebody dies, they will say Śivapurāṇam. If somebody is born, they will sing Śivapurāṇam. If somebody is getting married, they will sing Śivapurāṇam. Everything Śivapurāṇam. If somebody dies, they will publish a book with Śivapurāṇam in it. Or there will be an in memoriam book, and the book will always have Śivapurāṇam in it. Again, that is importance that they are given to this set of verses. And those are the verses that we are going to be looking at for the next 10 days. Today, 1 day is finished. Next 10 days, we will slowly go through all of these verses. We will make a small start today, and then we will go into the depths from tomorrow. Namachivaya Varga, Nadantal Varga, Imai Purudum Yen Nenjil, Ningadan Talvar. Namachivaya Varga, Nadan Talvarga, Imai Purudum Yen Nenjil, Ningadan Talvarga. Kogazhiyanda Gurumanidan Talvarga. Agamam Mahinindra Pannipan Talvarga. Kogazhiyanda Gurumanidan Talvarga. Agamam Mahinindra Pannipan Talvarga. Yegan Anegan Iraivan Adivarga. This is how the first 5 verses start. Namachivaya Varga. This is how he starts this entire Śivapurāṇam, with the most holy utterance that finds its presence in the heart of Sri Rudra. Abdi or Anuvakama Churinde Varache. Namah Shivaya Cha. And the Panchakshari Mantra. The 5 letters that declare that I am nothing There is nothing for me, everything is for you. Namaha Shivaya. Namaha Shivaya. Na artham na. Maha for me. Na no. Not for me. Shivaya for Shiva. The Panchakshari mantram, which is seen as the most holy mantram amongst the Shiva Bhaktas. The Ashtakshari mantram is the most holy mantram for the Vaishnavas. Om Namo Narayanaya. Na, Panchakshari, Anje Aksharana, 5 aksharas, letters, syllables. Na, Ma, Shi, Va, Ya. In the 5. These 5, or any such mantra for that matter, Ashtakshari or Panchakshari, what is it representing? This Panchakshari says, not for me, but for you. Not for me, but for you. Not unto me, but unto you. The reason why these mantras alone can liberate us is because the moment we understand this philosophy, this principle, there's a meaning to it. We think Namah Shivaya means salutations to Shiva. Namah, salutation. Namaha. The word Namaha means Maha for me, Na not for me. Chaturthi Vibhakti. Maha. For me, Maha. Na negates it and says not for me. What? Everything. Whatever it is, Na Maha. Then for who? Shivaya. For Shiva. The food that I eat. Namah Shivaya. I'm eating it. Namaha Shivaya. Namaha Shivaya. Whatever you enjoy, Namaha Shivaya. Whatever you do, Namaha Shivaya. Whatever relationships you have, Namaha Shivaya. Whatever accomplishments you have, Namaha Shivaya. For that concept, that truth is the truth that represents absolute and complete surrender. It also represents his name. The entire Śivapurāṇam starts off by saying Namah Shivaya Valha. Valha means long live. The word Valha means long live. Long live Namah Shivaya. Appear translate pannamanal, if you literally translate it, long live Namah Shivaya. What is this long live Namah Shivaya? Long live Shiva, okay. Long live Namah Shivaya. Above Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya Valha. Namah Shivaya Valha means may his name live forever. Shivaya. And the Shivangara peru dane adula varuthu. Namam dane. Appo may the Namam live forever. May Shiva live forever. Shiva ki jai சொல்றோம் இல்லையா? அதனால சிவாக்கு ஜெய் முதல்ல எடுத்த உடனே may Shiva live forever. Next, may his name live forever. Hallowed be thy name, our Father, who art in Kailasha. Hallowed be thy name. Namah Shivaya Valha. Aparam, the concept of surrender, may that live forever. Namah Shivaya itself embodies Sharanagati. Namah Shivaya embodies selflessness. Namah Shivaya embodies Vairagyam. Namah Shivaya embodies Bhakti. Namah Shivaya embodies Jnana. When you give up everything, it is Vairagyam. When you direct everything towards Him, it is Bhakti. And when you realize that you yourself are not, only He is, adi Jnana. Appo Namah Shivaya means Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya, all put together. Sharanagati, the Namam, the Lord, the Nami. All comes into that Namah Shivaya. Adanala, Namah Shivaya Valha. He says, all praise to this Namah Shivaya. All glory to this Namah Shivaya. May this Namah Shivaya live long. Nathan Thalvalha. Nathan, the Lord. His Natha, the Lord. Nathan, the Lord's. Thalna, his feet. His lotus feet. Valha. Long live the lotus feet of the Lord. Long live the feet of the Lord. Why the long live the feet of the Lord? Because that is the only thing that we have access to. We have access immediately to the feet of the Lord. Why to the feet of the Lord now? And when He is standing, where are we? Where are we when He is standing? Bhagavan is standing in front of us. What is the first thing that we can go and touch? His feet. You cannot touch His face. Yeah. Hey, what can you grab hold of? Feet is the first thing that you can grab hold of. What is the one thing that is always available for us? His feet. Let it be there forever, because if these feet are there forever, then I am rescued. I am saved. I have something to hold on to. In the first half, he is representing Nama. In the second half, he is representing Rupa, the form of the Lord. And the feet, when you talk about the feet of the Lord, you are representing the form of the Lord. Appa Namam and Rupam of the Lord. Namam Vazhga, Rupam Vazhga. May His name and form live forever. Because this is how we enter into spirituality itself. We enter into deep and abiding love for Him through His Munnam Avandan Namam Kettal. Another verse by Appar, in which he says, first she heard the name. He represents the devotee as a woman who the first thing he hears is the name. And in that name, then she goes in search of his form. Name the form. Namachivaya Vazhga, the name. The name is the first hook for us. Before we come to Swami, somewhere we hear Satya Sai Baba. Have you heard of Satya Sai Baba? Do you know Satya Sai Baba? First name now. Oh, who is he? He is such and such. He is a great. Oh, I want to see him. Form. Form and what do you do? Do you immediately go and hug him? As soon as you see him, are you able to go and hug him? What do you do? Pada Namaskaram. So what is the first thing that you go and touch? Nadantal Vazhga. Near feet. Adukapram rest. Only these two things are required. If these two things are perfectly done, then what happens now? Imai poludum en nenjil ningadan thalvazhga. Imai poludu, the time it takes for us to blink. How long does it take for you to blink? Not even a second. A fraction of a second we can blink. Even that small tiny fraction of a second, he who does not leave my heart, salutations to his feet. Long live his feet. Apo, Namam, Rupam, and who's the one who's residing in the heart? Antaryami, who's residing as the Atma Swarupa. Apa Namam, Rupam, Aprenanna, Asti Bhati Priyam. Sattu Chittu Anandam. The 5 தானே இருக்கு. Asti Bhati Priyam Nama Rupa Chet Amshapanchakam. Rupam Namam Amshapanchakam. There's a 5-fold entity existing. Asti, the existence. Bhati, the illumination or the awareness. Priyam, that prema or that ananda. Sattu Chittu Ananda. Asti Bhati Priyam. Then Rupam Namam, name and form and name. The 5 together is the 5-fold existence of an entity. Adila Adhyatrayam Brahma Rupam, the first 3 is Brahman. These 2, Jagat Rupam Tatodvayam. The other 2 is representing the form of the world. Nama and Rupa is the world. Ana, what is behind this world? What is behind the name and form of this world? Na Asti Bhati Priyam Atma Swarupamana Antaryami is behind it all. Sattu Chittu Ananda is the background, and the foreground of it is the name and form. Form irukku, formuku oru name irukku. How do you get to that background? Although the background came first and then everything else came, but where are you? You are in the world. From where are you going to where? From the world you are going inside. Appo what is the root? Namam, appuram Rupam, appuram Priyam, appuram and the Bhati, appuram Asti. You're retracing your path back. You're retracing your path back. In the world, this is how we came out. First the existence was there, then the existence was aware, and the existence was very loving or beloved. Then it took up a form and had a name, became the world. And now we are caught up in this world. And when we are caught up in this world, we are not able to go beyond the name and form. We are not able to see the Antaryami. We are not able to see the Sachidananda Brahman, that is the actual substratum. We are only seeing the name and form, and we are so shallowly caught up with that itself. But where do we need to go? Right back into that existence. Then how do I get to that existence? I have to catch hold of the name. I have to catch hold of the name. And through the name, I have to catch hold of the form. And when I have combined the name and form together, naturally Priyam. Yeah, don't I fall in love with the name and form? And am I not always then aware of my beloved, of that which is Priyam to me? Apo, what happens now? I perceive his existence everywhere. Apo, Namam, Rupam, Priyam, Bhati, Asti. Asti, Bhati, Priyam, Rupa, Namam lend, Nama, Rupa, Priyam, Bhati, Asti. Return. The return, that is the return that he is saying. Namachivaya Valha, the name. We are caught up in the name and form of this world. And that is all we know. Apo, what is the remedy for it now? Bhagavan makes it so easy and nice for us. He says, what are you familiar with? Name and form. Okay, then I will give you a name and form that you can become familiar with. What name? Namachivaya Valha. Become familiar with that name. And as you constantly intone that name, as you constantly intone that mantra, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya, Namah Shivaya. What will happen? We are chanting his name so many times. Will the desire not arise in us to see him? Who is this person? I have been chanting his name for so long, but when will I get to see him? Abdingara Rupam, the desire for the form. The form will manifest itself. When we have successfully fallen in love with this name and form, what will he do? Imai poludum en nenjil ningadan talvalga. He will not forsake you. He will not leave your heart for even a second, even a fraction of a second. Imai poludum. We will stop here. And because it's all about the name, to Sri Satya Sai Hostel Vrindavanam, my beloved teachers and boys, accept my love and blessings. In this world of change, we meet with various vicissitudes of life, both pleasant and unpleasant. We are afflicted with diseases, both mental and physical. The body is stricken with diseases and the mind filled with worries. In the state of our unhappiness, turmoil and misery, there is only one way, and that is to take refuge in Sai. Sai alone can remove these difficulties and diseases and bring us health, peace and prosperity. He who has got Sai's name on his lips is a Jivan Mukta, because continuous remembrance of Sai eliminates the ego sense and grants him the realization of his immortal, changeless self. Name is a link between the devotee and Sai. It brings him face to face with Sai, Rupam. It brings him face to face with Sai and enables him to attain the knowledge of his oneness with him, Sai, with love, your Sai, your own Sai. She said this Sai. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाम् सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु ओम शान्ति 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 हरि ओम तत्सत् श्री साईश्वरार्पणमस्तु।